Good evening. I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor, and it's currently Saturday, April 4th. It's just a couple minutes before 7 o'clock, and you can't go back. Just so you know, you can't go back. Okay? And that's really important to understand, because as I recap the events of today and the last week and how they affect you and your ability to get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement, it's really important to remember you can't go back to a time before when the United States president thought that 100,000 deaths in the U.S. was going to be a really great outcome, okay, after seeing the possibility of over 2 million deaths. Or when the vice president admits that we're closer to the Italian model where 12% of the population that had COVID died, instead of the South Korean model where basically 2% died. You can't go back in time before the COVID cases in the U.S. were over 302,000, or the deaths were over 8,000, 8,200 right now. Okay? You can't go back in time when the cases in New York were under 113,000, or when the deaths in New York State were over 3,500. And the novel thing is, it's not expected to peak for another 7 to 10 days or so. Okay? You can't go back when New Jersey wasn't number 2 in the United States with over 34,000 cases of COVID and over 846 deaths already. Okay? And they're just 1 week behind New York when the surge is about to happen. You can't go back in time when ER docs in New Jersey died, where a 7-week-old infant in Connecticut died. You can't go back in time before nurses, doctors, respiratory therapists, EMTs, hospital staff, cops, and firefighters were all getting sick and dying of COVID. You just can't go back in time. You can't go back before once the United States, the most powerful, influential nation in the world, was reduced to not being able to provide basic protective equipment to its frontline workers in major cities so that they could help save our own lives. You can't go back in time before the president so consistently, okay, put his own self-interest ahead of the country, when a president of the United States so blatantly shirked his duties to the country and refused to do what was necessary to protect this nation, by ignoring the Crimson Tide contagion simulation that was done by his own administration back in October of 2019, or ignoring the intelligence briefings that he got in December last year that warned of an upcoming pandemic, or blatantly ignoring the facts presented to him in January and February of this year, or when there's such a major disconnect between his office and the affected ERs and ICUs, or him actually right now refusing to fully implement the Defense Production Act. By doing that, okay, he could put a single military person, non-political military person with serious logistical backgrounds in charge of the full supply chain, but he refuses to do that. We can't go back in time when state governors basically are left on their own trying to figure out ways to handle a national crisis at the state level, when they're still bidding against each other and FEMA, trying to get basic life-saving supplies for their individual states. You can't go back in time when facts and science were so ignored and so actually demonized by religious zealots and political cronies. It's hard to believe that simple, basic life-saving fixes like staying at home, social distancing, and wearing masks are considered optional. You can't go back in time before all those things caused the stock market and your retirement to take a 30% hit. Or when the economy lost 701,000 jobs last month, with 6.6 million people claiming unemployment benefits in just 1 week. Or when the gross incompetence got us to a situation where this could easily extend into May or June. You can't go back in time when a Detroit City bus driver complained 4 weeks ago that a woman was coughing on his bus with her mouth uncovered. and that he died now from COVID. Well, when a naval officer, a captain of a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, Theodore Roosevelt, was removed from his command because of sounding alarm about COVID on his ship and trying to protect his crew. No, you can't go back. We need to deal with the circumstances as they are right now. What do we currently have in front of us? Well, we've got federal relief payments that are in process. Okay, if you got a Social Security check, IRS is going to get anything to you the same way you got your check, either direct deposit or by hard copy mail. Okay, if you didn't file a tax return, you can go to their site and you can get information on how to confirm your information with them. I'll provide links in my YouTube channel when I post this video. Right now, you can withdraw money from your tax-deferred accounts without penalties. There's some strings attached to that, but some details are, again, in the links I'll provide later on. Okay, if you're unemployed, okay, keep trying to apply. Okay, the states have been slammed, and that's not going to change anytime soon as these numbers keep increasing. It was 6.6 last week. I don't know. 8 million is a real believable number for this coming week. I don't know, but it's real believable. If you've got a small business, SBA loans are supposedly, in the works. They've been approved by legislation. Okay. They've been approved by Mnuchin. However, the regulations are not totally out to the banks just yet, and the processing really remains up in the air at this point in time. It really does. You're not certain of what's going to happen. Now, what else is happening out here? Let me check here. Because I have notes because I don't want to miss anything. Oh, health insurance, very critical. If you don't have health insurance, you're out of work because of what's happening. You lost your health insurance because you're out of work. Okay, call your state. Call your state and see what programs they have available to you. Beware the stimulus payment scams. Again, the IRS and the states are not going to phone you. They're not going to call you. They're not going to email you asking you to confirm information. They're not going to send you to some site saying, oh, come over to this site here with an email. No, they won't do that. Okay, I provided a link. It's in when I post this on YouTube tomorrow. The link will be there, and you can make sure they have your direct deposit information. And if you've changed your address, make certain they have an address change, and they have your direct deposit information and your current filing status. Because you may have been married last year, instead of getting $1,200, you would get $2,400. You may have had a kid last year or an additional child last year, and you get an extra $500 per child. Make certain that the IRS has that information, but give it to them directly. And again, I'll post a link in my YouTube channel. Beware of the scams. Again, they're out there. Even on Facebook, I get emails yesterday, day before, $40 masks. They've got more masks on Facebook. You don't need these masks. You really don't need these masks. You don't need them at that price. Okay, I will show you how to put together a mask. Really, really simple. I didn't get a chance to do that today. As soon as I finish this live, I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you how to make a mask, and you can do it at home. Cost you near nothing. It takes about 2 minutes. You don't have to sew anything. Now, you can't go back to a time when there wasn't 24/7 news coverage on COVID, when none of it's actually good at all. Okay. Turn off the news. Turn off the news. You're going to go absolutely crazy. They stir you up into a frenzy. Okay, you won't be able to sleep at night. Okay. Turn off the news. 5-10 minutes at a time is more than enough, just once or twice a day. The rest of it is just nonsense. Okay. You don't need to know how stupid they are down in D.C. and all the nonsense that they're talking about. Okay. It's just double talk. Okay. It's just unbelievable what's happening right now. Okay. You need to do what you can do to get as much of your life under control as possible, because right now you feel like nothing's under control. Okay. The world has been upended. You've never seen anything like this before. Hopefully you'll never see it again. You're going to get through it. But right now, it's terribly uncomfortable. What are you going to do right now? Get control of your life. Okay? Get control of your finances for at least the next 3 months. The plan A that you've been working under for the last 15, 20, 30 years is not working right now. Many things have changed. You need to get control of your life and your money. You need a plan B. something solid that you can count on, irregardless of what crazy nonsense is going on in the world. In order to do that, generally you're going to need some kind of a business. I've got some links in my YouTube channel that will give you an outline of what I think are 10 ideal characteristics of an ideal business. Okay, that'll help. But you need some type of business. Okay, again, now's the time for a mask. Without a doubt in the world, the CDC finally came out and said, oh yeah, you should have a mask on. Now, the novel thing is, okay, South Korea almost immediately went to amazing amount of testing, social distancing, wearing masks almost immediately. Their death rate is under 2% basically. Ours right now is over 2%. And it's growing. Theirs is leveled off and tapering down right now. They did what they were supposed to do. They took care of their population. Here we have a president telling you, well, all that stuff is really, really optional. He's not going to do any of that stuff, but it's optional. Okay? They've got governors still saying, oh yeah, it's okay to have in-person church services. Surprise. These people are going to get sick. They're not going to get sick tomorrow. 2 weeks from now, see what happens to that group of people in their church service. Chances are, more than one of them is going to come down with COVID, and it's going to get spread throughout their congregation. Now, the virus itself doesn't move by itself. The virus moves from people to people. Okay, people need to move the virus. If people don't move, the virus stops moving. Stay at home. It's just basic science. It makes sense to stay at home. Reduce the chances of you transmitting it to someone else. Don't have the family gatherings you used to having. I'm Italian. I'm from South Philadelphia. We would routinely have Sunday dinner. Okay, from 2 o'clock. Okay, gravy's cooking all day on the stove. Meatballs are cooking in fry pans. Cast iron fry pans, by the way. They were great. Okay, but cooking all day. 2, 3 o'clock, we have an early dinner, and it ran on to 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. The whole family got together for that. You can't do that now. Not even inside your own family. You certainly should be having COVID parties and balcony parties. So don't do those things. Don't change your behavior to avoid infection right now. Assume you're infected and change your behavior to avoid transmission. If you're going to go out, and you have to go out at some point in time, you can't stay in the house all the time. It's just not possible. You got to go out for at least food and supplies. Pick up prescriptions. Okay, wear a mask when you go out. And again, I'm going to show you how to put a mask together. It takes less than 2 minutes. From a paper towel, from a dishcloth, I'm going to show you how to do that. It's a really, really simple thing to do. Wear a mask. Okay. Now, there's a 40% chance that you're going to get COVID. Before this is all said and done, there's a 40% chance you're going to get COVID. There's also a 98% chance that once you get it, that you're going to come out the other side okay. But there's that 2% chance. And sorry to say that 2% chance is getting bigger because we're not doing what we're supposed to do. So you might be 2.5%, maybe 3% of the entire population. That's a really, really big number. That's a really, really big number. So if you're part of that 2%, okay, you want to make certain you've got things under control that you can control. What you can control is a living will. You can do that. What decisions do you want to make? And now's the time to have the decisions with your family while things are quiet when you don't need it. What type of steps do you want the ERs and the hospitals to take? Do you want them to have CPR? Do you want them to put a tube down your throat? Okay, put you on a ventilator or not? Do you want a feeding tube or not? These are decisions that you need to make ahead of time. Durable power of attorney. Okay. Just because you're in a hospital and you could be there for a month doesn't mean that the rest of the world stops going. There are still things that are happening legally and financially that affect you that you would normally take care of yourself. Somebody has to take care of them for you. A durable power of attorney says, okay, this other person can do that for you. You need that in place. And God forbid, you're part of that 2% that don't make it. You need a will. A will is there just to transfer title to major assets. You don't need to put your shirt and jacket in a will. Nobody cares. That's personal property. Nobody really cares about that. Okay. If you own a piece of real estate, you have a brokerage account. Okay. Those things need to get transferred. You need to have instructions for those things. Bank accounts also sometimes need to get instructions how to transfer the bank account. If you've got IRAs, 401ks, pension plans, okay, those things, when you signed up for those, automatically you had to designate a beneficiary. Should something happen to you, the money goes to this other person. They don't transfer by will, they transfer by contract. It's already done. Now, you need to put things that you can do in your control. You need that certainty in your life. The uncertainty of what's happening, the lack of control, personal control that you feel, drives you crazy at this point in time. You can't go back to earlier times. Okay? Barney Fife and Mayberry were great. Okay? You can't go back to that. George Bush had Katrina. It wasn't a pleasant experience for him. George Bush was a nice guy. He was concerned with the country before himself. He had some bad decisions. But he did put people in charge of things that knew how to accomplish things. That's not happening now. You need to take care of things for yourself. You need to take care of yourself, your family, and your loved ones. Right now, with all the isolation, you can't see them and physically touch them. Call them, check on them, do video phone conferencing with them. Okay? They want to see your face. They really do. Your existence makes life easier for someone else. Right now, there's a total lack of serious leadership coming out of D.C. Okay? You need to do things that are going to work out for you. And even in this time, with all this uncertainty, with all the blunders that are going down in D.C. right now, the nation is coming together. People are doing amazing things for each other. You'll see it every day in between the craziness of what goes on in the news. Every day you see it. Now, I know that you're going to be doing your part. Most people are. Most people are being exceptionally responsible. Okay? You're going to have some bad days. The way things are right now, you're going to have bad days. I'd like to say, oh, don't worry about it, it'll all be better. It probably won't be. You're going to have some bad days. This hasn't even peaked in New York yet. It's going to peak in New York sometime in the next 7 to 10 days. Okay. New Jersey is a week behind New York. Other states could be 2 or 3 weeks behind that. Okay. It's coming your way. So you're going to have bad days. But the novel thing is, at some point in time, the bad days finish up. And you will come out of it on the other side. So, what do you do for you on a personal level? Again, meditation is a handy thing to do. It takes you a couple minutes in the morning. You need some quiet time away from the craziness. You need to express your feelings. Some type of journaling is not a bad thing. Reading some books is not a bad thing at this point in time. Increase your education some more. Get some other job skills that you can use to build your own business. Give that some thought. Plan that out. What type of plan B are you going to have? What type of business are you going to have? If you've got kids in a house that are school age, a lot of school districts have already canceled for the year. They already acknowledge it's a done year. Some districts are saying, oh yeah, the kids are going to have to repeat the year. It's that bad. Some of them have sent materials home. Okay. I've got some other interesting links in my YouTube channel. You can look there. They'll send you to a link. It has some educational things there for the kids. Okay. My wife, Dr. Terry, does her reading, bedtime books with Dr. Terry at 7:30 for smaller kids. Gus Cuz, our new pup, might actually show up. He's there sometimes. Okay. I post new and really interesting links every day on that YouTube channel. Go there. Like the video. Share the video. Put some comments there. I look forward to the comments. Every day when I post that YouTube link and it goes to a separate page with all these other links in there, I've got a special present for you. Something different every day. Something I think is going to amuse you or entertain you to some way, shape, or form. Or be good for you. But it's something different every day. Won't tell you what it is. You go there and just look for the present. It's right in the top. Now, Again, I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor. I'm here to help you get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. Email me, private message me. I'll be glad to try and address your concerns when I do the next show. Again, tomorrow at 7 o'clock. But for now, I appreciate you showing up. Thank you for your time.